All right. I am recording. Okay. Now, what we've got here, you want to look at the parentheses here. So you got a 4-term polynomial. A term is separated by a minus or a plus. So you got 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms. And you're going to add that 4-term polynomial to a 3-term polynomial. We would call that a trinomial. Now, when you add or subtract polynomials, what you do is combine the like terms. You do not mess with the exponents. Now, my goal here is to give you time to jot down these notes that I'm giving you as we go, and to, you know, literally a lot is at stake for y'all to ask me questions, and I want you to ask me questions. I will not make fun of you. And I'll only roll my eyes if you're not looking.
Will the quiz be on what we've done in the last few days, or will this also be on the quiz?
It will be what we did yesterday and what we're doing today.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we taking the quiz like in this class period, or will we be doing notes the whole time?
No, you're going to do it in this class period. And hopefully you'll have enough time. You should have enough time. Okie dokie. Yeah. I think I made the deadline midnight though, but I'll go back and check. Okay, so what you're going to do is you put the like terms together. Now, I do this part in my head, but I wanted you to see it. You put that 3x to the 4 plus the 8x4 side by side, like so. And in a moment, you're going to add them, and you're going to get 11x4, right? And so I put the negative 7x with the 5x here and here, the 3x squared with the minus 3x squared right there. And then what's left? We got 2x cubed term. Now again, like terms are determined by the exponent. So a 3x4 plus 8x4 is going to be 11x to the 4th. The minus 7x plus the 5x is a minus 2x. The 3x squared minus 3x squared becomes a 0x squared, and 0 times anything is 0. Normally, you would not put that, but I wanted you to see how that works. And then what's left over is the plus 2x cubed. And if that were a negative, you'd put a minus. So we're basically done, except I want to dress up that 0x squared and make sure it's in standard order. Now remember, standard order is the biggest exponent on the left, so it'd be like 4, 3, 2, 1, so on. So this would be the final answer. 11x to the 4 plus 2x3. Notice the exponent goes 4 and then 3. And this is an exponent of 1. There's not an x squared term here. Now, if you take your time, this is no big deal. All right, any questions on number 2?
No, but like, can we just wait a second?
Sure. And I need you to tell me that. I'm not offended at all.
All right, I'm good.
All right. Okay. Now I wanted to jump to do number 3 with you guys because...
Can you go back right quick?
Sure.
Don't
Can you go back?
I'm back. I'm back. All right, everybody good? I'll take that as a yes. Okie dokie. Here we've got 4 terms, and we're subtracting from it these 3 terms. But it's the same deal. But the first thing you want to do when you're subtracting is you want to change this to a plus. That gets changed to a negative. That gets changed to a plus. that gets changed to a negative. I think y'all have learned to do that probably in middle school, and then because that's changed to a plus in the middle, you're still going to add. So here's this is my first step. The 4-term parenthesis on the left did not change, but now I'm adding, instead of subtracting, I'm adding a negative. And that -3 became a +3, and that +4 became a -4. Now at this point, we're prepared to do exactly what we did with the previous one. We're just going to combine the like terms. So as I'm looking, and I like to go left to right, as I'm looking at that k² term, I'm looking across and I see no other k² term, so it will just stand by itself for a little bit. I see I've got a k4 there, another k4 there, I've got a constant here, a constant there. That's a number by itself. And then I got a k to the 1 and a k to the 1 there. So that's what I'll put together. So I brought down the k² because it was by itself. Now, why did I get a -3k4? Well, it was +3k4 added to a -6k4. So that gives me a -3k4. And then here you've got a -6 plus a -4 gives you -10. And then you've got this -1k plus 3k. And so that gives you 2k. But I'd like to suggest we're not quite done yet. Can anybody volunteer? What's the last thing we need to do?
You gotta put it in standard order.
Yep, standard order, exactly. So the first one we're going to see is at -3k4. Then the next biggest is k2. Then the next biggest is k1. And then the numbers by themselves are always at the end. We call them constants.
Wait, I have a question.
Sure.
How is the negative the biggest number if it's like negative?
Yeah, good point. You're correct. The coefficient -3 is not the biggest, but we're looking only at the exponents. It's the exponent of 4 is the biggest.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
All right, is it anybody have a problem if I go on? All righty. Number 6. Now, what we've got here is a binomial, 2 terms times a binomial. So you want to look in the middle. We're no longer adding or subtracting. We're multiplying. So you should be thinking already, oh, okay, when we multiply variables, we're going to add the exponents. Now, I wish I could do this on the board with you, but what you're going to do is you're going to take this 2n to begin with, and you're going to distribute it over this second parenthesis. Then you're going to take that -5 and multiply it by those 2 terms. So that's what I mean by here. I'm going to distribute each term in the first parenthesis. For instance, I'm going to go 2n times 4n, and that's going to give me 8n squared. And then I'm going to go 2n times 8, and that's going to give me 16n. Then I'll take -5 times 4n and get -20n. And finally, I'll take -5 times 8 and get -40. But I've printed it out so that you can see officially what's going on. Again, the 2n is here, the -5 is right here. And you're going to multiply that across, you're going to multiply that across. Like so. 2n times 4n, 2n times 8, 5 times 4n, -5 times 8. So then you're ready to multiply them and add exponents when you need to. So here we go. 2n times 4n is 8n squared because it's 1 plus 1 on the exponents. 2n times 8 is 16n, negative 5 times
You
4.
tell me like I care.
I'm sorry, what, sweetie? And negative 5 times 8 is negative 40. Was there a question, guys?
No, I think she just
No.
All right. Now, who sees the next thing we need to do? There's one last thing we need to do.
standard form.
That true, but before we even do that,
Combine like terms.
excellent. Yes. Notice that right on these, right here and here, those are like terms. So we're going to do 16 take away 20, and that's going to give us a negative 4. And then make sure it's in standard order. And that would be the answer.
Okay, can you wait just a second?
Sure. Up, time's up.
Okay.
All right. All right. So number 7 is going to work the same way, except we're dealing with negatives. But, you know, again, if you take your time, it's no big deal. Like before, I'm going to take each of these front terms and multiply them one at a time by the second parenthesis. So I'm going to go negative 5x times that second parenthesis, and then the minus 2, which will work out like a negative 2 times that. And again, when I'm doing it, I don't write all these steps because I know what I'm going to do. But here's what you're doing. You're going to do negative 5x times negative 7x, which is going to give you a positive 35x squared, and so on. And then negative 5x times negative 8 gave you a positive 40x. And then that negative 2 times negative 7x gave you a positive 14x. And negative 2 times negative 8 gave you a positive 16. All right, the last thing there is we're going to combine those inner terms, 40x plus a 14x, and that'll give us a 54x. And then we double check to make sure it's in standard order. All right, can I move on?
Yeah.
All right. All right, last one that I'm going to do with you.
Can you go
Okay.
back to the other problem?
All righty. You doing okay with that?
All right, it's good.
All right. All right, so number 10, we've got a binomial, meaning 2 terms, but now it's times a trinomial, 1, 2, 3 terms. But it's the same old process. You're going to start with that 8k, and you're going to multiply it by each of these 3 things here. Then you're going to take that negative 5 and multiply it by each of those 3 things. Like so.
Mr. Hilborn,
Yeah,
I finished all 10 questions.
it's already? Good golly. Well, if you want to go ahead and start on the quiz, you may do that. But tune in when I get ready to go over the ones that you've not yet done, okay? So we're going to go 8K by each of these, and then minus 5 by each of those. And here's where you just got to take your time a little bit. I see I got a K cubed. That's the only one I got, but I got a K squared there, a K squared there, a K1 there, a K1 there, and the negative 35 by itself. So I got to combine those and then make sure it's in standard order. And sure enough, that negative 8K squared combined with a positive 30K squared gave me a positive 22K squared. And 56K to the 1 plus 5K to the 1 gave me a 61K to the 1. And then that minus 35 is right there. All right. At 2 p.m., I want to call you back together. That's 10 minutes. And so that we can go over the ones I'm asking you to do on your own. Answer any questions that you may have. And then I feel like you'll be ready for that quiz. Any questions?
No.
All right.
Oh wait, can you go back?
Yeah, I gotta go share it again.
Sorry, I just.
No, that's all right. That's all right. No, that's not what I want.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Anybody else? So at this point, you're to be doing number 1, 4, 5, 8, and 9.
Mr. Hilborn,
Yes.
for the notes, it says here that like